Have you ever felt like you're speaking, but no one is truly hearing you? Like your efforts are constantly overlooked, no matter how hard you try? If you've ever felt invisible in meetings, conversations, or even social gatherings, you're far from alone. According to Vanessa Van Edwards, author of the book Cues, this feeling may have a root cause, a lack of charisma. Charisma, as Van Edwards defines it, is not some mysterious charm you're either born with or not. Instead, it's a skill, a powerful mix of signals you send that determine how people respond to you. In her research, she discovered that many of us are unintentionally sending the wrong signals, undermining our presence without even realizing it. Without charisma, she explains, it becomes much harder to build genuine connections, communicate effectively, or earn the respect and trust of others. But here's the good news. Charisma is learnable. You don't have to fake it or force it. You just need to understand and apply what Van Edwards calls charismatic cues, small, intentional, verbal and non-verbal behaviors that influence how others perceive you. In this episode, we'll break down how charisma really works, explore the cues that build or break it, and show you how to apply these cues to your personality and goals. Whether you're trying to stand out in a crowded room, lead with confidence, or simply make a stronger impression, charisma can be your secret weapon. We'll start by defining what charisma truly is and how it shapes first impressions. Then we'll look at how specific behaviors, your tone of voice, posture, eye contact, and micro-expressions can either boost or weaken your presence. Finally, we'll give you a roadmap to level up your charisma based on your natural strengths and areas for growth. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clearer understanding of how to project a charismatic image that helps you connect, lead, and inspire without changing who you are. Let's begin. When you walk into a room full of strangers, it only takes a few seconds for people to form an opinion about you. Before you even say your name, they've already decided whether you seem confident, approachable, or someone they want to engage. With this, snap judgment happens because of the cues you send, often without realizing it. Vanessa Van Edwards refers to these cues as the secret language of communication. Every subtle gesture, how you stand, where you look, how you move, sends a message about who you are. These non-verbal cues are often more powerful than the words you speak. They tell the world, "This is who I am," before you even open your mouth. According to Van Edwards, every interaction is essentially a cue contest. While you're reading the cues of others, they're doing the same to you. Consider this. You meet someone at a networking event. They offer a limp handshake and avoid eye contact. Instantly, your brain whispers, "Not confident." But here's where it gets interesting. Charismatic people have learned how to balance two essential types of cues, warmth and competence. Warmth cues are the behaviors that make people feel safe, valued, and connected. These include open body language, smiles, nods, and a friendly tone of voice. When you show warmth, people are more likely to trust you. Competence cues, on the other hand, are signals that convey intelligence, capability, and confidence. These include standing tall, making decisive gestures, speaking clearly, and using strong posture. The most charismatic people strike a balance between the two. Too much competence without warmth can make you seem intimidating or unapproachable. Too much warmth without competence may make you appear unreliable even if you're not. Imagine you're at a job interview. You want to come across as capable and knowledgeable. That's competence. But if you're so focused on sounding smart that you forget to smile or show any personality, you might come off as cold. The interviewer might think, "They're skilled, but would I enjoy working with them?" Now picture someone who's bubbly and cheerful, but struggles to answer basic questions about the role. They might be likable, but you'll still wonder, can they handle the job? Charisma is about mastering both. Think of someone like Keanu Reeves. He's beloved because he exudes warmth and humility while also being seen as highly competent and committed to his craft. He's a perfect example of the charisma sweet spot. Next, we'll explore how to identify your own charisma level and how to grow it with intentional, personalized cues. Vanessa Van Edwards takes charisma a step further by outlining what she calls the 4 levels of charisma. Think of it as a roadmap to assess where you currently stand and where you might want to grow. These levels are based on how much warmth and competence you're projecting. Let's walk through them. Level 1. No charisma. This is the bottom tier. It's where both warmth and confidence are lacking. You may come across as distant, cold, or unsure of yourself, even if that's not who you really are. It doesn't mean you're unkind or incapable, but if your cues don't reflect who you are inside, people won't be able to see it. Level 2. Competent but cold. This level is common in professional environments. You're perceived as knowledgeable and capable, but you lack the relational warmth that makes others feel at ease. People may respect you but hesitate to approach you. You get things done, but building rapport is difficult. You may be unintentionally intimidating or seem aloof. Level 3. Warm but unreliable. At this level, you come across as friendly, relatable, and emotionally intelligent, but lack the cues of competence. People enjoy being around you, but they might question your ability to handle serious tasks or responsibilities. You're likable, but they're not sure they can count on you when it matters most. Level 4. Charismatic leader. This is the sweet spot. High warmth and high competence. You're seen as trustworthy, intelligent, approachable, and reliable. People want to collaborate with you, follow your lead, and keep you in the room. This is the level where real influence and connection happen. The good news? You can move up the ladder. Charisma is not a fixed trait, it's a skill, and like any skill, it improves with awareness and practice. You don't need to change your personality. You simply need to learn how to dial up the cues you're missing, depending on the context and the people around you. Ask yourself honestly, do I naturally lead with warmth or competence? Which one do I tend to neglect? When people meet me, do they feel both safe and impressed? This self-awareness is the foundation of developing true charisma. Once you know where you stand, you can start adding the right cues to create more balance and more impact. In the next section, we'll look at how to practically apply warmth and confidence cues in your daily interactions, starting with a E, simple 2-question test that can change how you communicate forever. So how do you actually become more charismatic in real-life situations? According to Vanessa Van Edwards, it starts with a simple test, the friend and expert test. After any interaction, ask yourself 2 questions. Did I make them feel like I'm their friend? Did I show that I know what I'm talking about? If the answer is yes to both, then you've struck the perfect balance between warmth and competence. If the answer is no to either, that's your cue, pun intended, to adjust. For example, let's say you're giving a presentation. You could start with a short, relatable story or a touch of humor to build warmth, then follow it up with clear facts, confident delivery, and well-structured points to show competence. Warmth opens the door. Confidence gets people to walk through it. The good news is, you don't need dramatic changes to increase your charisma. Subtle, consistent signals are often the most effective. To project warmth, smile genuinely, nod when others speak, use open gestures, maintain steady eye contact. 2. Convey competence. Speak with clarity and purpose. Stand tall with good posture. Avoid filler words. Use deliberate movements. But there's another layer beneath this. Micro-expressions and body language. These unconscious cues can say more than your words ever will. Research shows that up to 93% of communication is nonverbal. That means your body is speaking before your voice does, and people are always listening. Micro-expressions are those tiny, rapid facial movements that reveal how We really feel. They last less than a second, but our brains are wired to pick them up. For example, a genuine smile, known as a Duchenne smile, involves both the mouth and the eyes. Raised eyebrows usually signal curiosity or interest. Furrowed brows or tight lips can indicate confusion, doubt, or disapproval. If you say you're excited, but your face looks stiff and your voice is flat, no one's buying it. But when your expressions align with your message, trust increases. It's not about being perfect, it's about being congruent. Van Edwards emphasizes that charisma isn't a performance. It's about authenticity, presence, and understanding what others need from you in that moment. Some people will respond better to warmth. Others will be drawn to competence. The key is adaptability. In our final section, we'll cover how posture, gestures, and physical presence play a powerful role in your overall charisma, and how even simple adjustments can boost how others see and respond to you. Let's talk about your body, because it's speaking even when you're not. Every movement you make communicates something. Are you confident, closed off, nervous, approachable? Your body language needs to match your message. Otherwise, people won't believe your words. They'll believe your posture, tone, and facial expressions instead. Take this example. If you walk into a room saying, "I'm excited to be here," but your arms are crossed and your posture is slouched, no one will feel that energy. Instead, they'll assume you're guarded or disengaged. Vanessa Van Edwards emphasizes the power of posture. Standing tall, shoulders back, feet grounded. This is what she calls power posing. It doesn't just make you appear more confident, it actually helps you feel more confident. Your body influences your brain. When you take up space and open up physically, you activate psychological cues that boost self-assurance and lower stress. If you're feeling anxious, power posing for just 2 minutes before an important event, like a meeting, interview, or speech, can recalibrate how you carry yourself. Charisma also means being physically present. That means putting away distractions, making intentional eye contact, and listening with your whole body. You show people they matter when your presence is undivided. And that's a rare trait in a world full of short attention spans. Another cue to consider: hand gestures. When aligned with your words, they help people understand and remember what you're saying. They can reinforce your points, display enthusiasm, and even soften tension. On the flip side, fidgeting, crossed arms, or touching your face repeatedly can signal discomfort or uncertainty. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire presence overnight. Charisma is built moment by moment, cue by cue. It's the sum of how you show up, physically, verbally, emotionally, and most importantly, being charismatic doesn't mean becoming someone you're not. You don't need to fake energy, adopt someone else's personality, or memorize a long list of power moves. The goal isn't to perform, it's to connect. True charisma is about being seen as both capable and caring. It's about making people feel like they matter while also showing them that you bring value. It's about being the kind of person others trust to lead and enjoy being around. So the next time you enter a room, remember, your smile, your stance, your tone, they all matter. Use them with intention, use them with heart, and most of all, use them to connect. That's the secret language of charisma, and now you speak it too. See you in the next video.